Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back. We have the Yamaha PSR E453. Now, this is a keyboard. It's been on my channel a couple of times, of course. I think this is probably my third one. You know, you have it for a while, you take it back because you upgrade to a 400 series, higher end, 76 keys, and so on. And then, of course, you get one of these things again and go, what did I do that for? And then, of course, you get another one and you know what I mean? And so when I bought the DGX 670, I've had the 650 and the 660, which we've talked about in the last video. If you check out my Yamaha DGX 670 keyboard, things I don't like about it, you'll understand why I had to buy this one back a couple weeks after, because it's kind of like, yeah, we have a sound issue with special effects, and now I had to buy my keyboard back. Now this one I actually didn't originally buy from Long McQuaid, this exact one. I actually sold it to them, but I bought it from a marketplace deal, because I thought, well, you can't go wrong at the deal I got for it. It was actually a trade deal. And but they're still a really good, viable keyboard, don't get me wrong. I mean, this is like a perfect beginner grade level keyboard. You know, it's like 61 keys. Works great, you know, and you've got the diagrams for, you know, if you're going to play around with the drum kits and stuff that are built into this. I like sound effects. One of them, of course, is this helicopter noise. And you can mess with it, with the controls. Different DSP effects you can do. Now the EW400, which I actually had that keyboard before for quite a while, it has actually all the same stuff plus more, including this area. That was a great keyboard, but I don't need another EW400 or 420 or 410 or whatever. What I needed was just something to get me back to these effects, because I want the different areas, because I want the different tonal response ranges to give it to me for the different types of helicopters, because there's a lot of different helicopters out there. But unfortunately, with the 670 keyboard, of course, you know, any of the effects period, you only have access to one button, but you got to figure out which button first has an effect on it, because the rest of them are going to be dead, right? Or you'll have a couple of keys within an effects list, and the rest of them are like dead keys, and it's like, this is just stupid. You know, so Yamaha needs to fix that with, I believe, a firmware update could totally fix that, and we would be perfectly happy at that point, but I'm not holding my breath. So anyways, but with this, I can go with any key I want, black or white, and I can get every different tonal range, so that works for any effect that I want. So if I want, you know, go into something like, I don't know, 724, oops. That's wind. And I can sustain that note, which is great. I can also add a little bit of a different one in there to kind of get two things going. Thunder. Now with the thunder, of course, it makes its initial crack and that's it. Even with the sustain pedal held down, except the sustain will give it a little bit of extra length to finish its complete cycle of being thunder, right? So, yeah, as far as anything bad about this that I have to say, I think the worst thing about this and the other keyboards, even in the higher models, because I had the same problem with the 650 and the 660, is actually the music stand. This is an issue, and it's only got this bracket here and this one here, and that's all. So if you're too much weight on this stand, it's going to actually snap the stand off. I mean, the stands are cheap. I mean, it's only, I think, 11 bucks or 7 bucks or something for a new one. But this one here, it's already been cracked at the back end. It didn't go through the front for the brake. It got yanked this way. So I was able to spread that open and put a whack load of really good crazy glue stuff in there, and it's holding really strong and well. But figured, well, you know, why not? Just in this case, I was able to fix it. The last one I had on, I think it was either the 650 or the 660, it broke. Now it held a lot more weight, because because it was a little bit wider bracketing, but I had a little mishap, so I had to actually buy a new one because that was my bad. So I bought a brand new one for it. Now, of course, they have resolved this issue with the 670 DGX keyboard, where now the entire thing is straight across the entire width, making this exceptionally strong. But unfortunately, you can't cross-platform the versions because you only have a short piece here and a short piece here. You don't have a complete cutout across. So you are kind of stuck with this. So watch the weight that you put on there for any kind of music. So in other words, don't put big heavy binders on. Now if you want to put a binder on that's heavier, then you got to get this thing closer to the wall so that there's very little amount that this can actually flex, so that you can hold your book upright and you'll be fine. Because let's face it, without a music stand, it's kind of hard to hold your music, right? And anyway, so I would say that out of everything about this keyboard, that would be the biggest problem that I would have with this thing that I really don't like. And I don't even think there's a way they could actually fix that issue. You know, so it's kind of a, yeah, you know, idea, right? Otherwise, you do have really cool sound when you go to the piano sounds. So, I mean, it's got some really fantastic sounds in it. I'm not complaining. There's a lot here for the money. And it is a really great, like I said, beginner grade keyboard. I don't see why you couldn't perform live. However, you gotta really watch how many keys you have, right? But the other thing is it only has a headphone line out jack, and you cannot have sound through the internal speakers at all on this model if you're going to be using jack out to like a PA. So you'd have to have like an on-stage monitor rerouted from the board to give you your sound back on stage. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, who's going to perform with a beginner grade keyboard? But you can also throw batteries in this thing and take it to the beach and play all day long on a set of batteries. So that's very cool. So anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. It's the only thing I really don't like about it the most, so, you know, that's where I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? But it does solve my problem, at least for all my sound effects area, that I kind of have very poor access to on my high-end keyboard. So shame on Yamaha for screwing that up, because it was fine in the 650 and 660 series, but on the 670 they totally botched it and dropped the ball on that. So this forces me to actually have two keyboards. So my one main keyboard takes care of everything else. This one takes care of my sound effects. But this one also gives me, you know, some different beats as well too, right? Because not all the Yamaha keyboards have all the exact same beats in them. So, you know, even for just sitting here playing guitar and playing along with this instead of firing up my Beat Buddy, or if I want to use this whatever beat that's in here into a song, I can pipe it through using this as a MIDI interface. For in and out, works absolutely great. You can do that too if you want. There are a lot of benefits. Auxiliary in on the back, so you can hook up your MP3 player, or, you know, old school CD player or tape cassette player for you nostalgic guys and girls, and play along with your favorite tunes, right? So you can do that too. So there's a lot of really great things about this. Just, you know, one real bad thing on Yamaha's end with that stand. So anyway, that's it. That's all. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.